Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and I'm delighted to be welcoming Rajarshi Modi ji. Namaste, welcome, Dr. Modi.
Namaskar.
So while we look at him and he looks like a Hollywood star is one side, but he has been a very multifaceted personality, whether it is the field of being an entrepreneur or someone who is conscientious, concerned about the world, active as an author. In addition to being a visionary techno entrepreneur, uh, Modi ji has contributed to the world in multiple ways. But presently, where I am delighted to be welcoming his. We will be talking about his new venture, call it, or a series on Acharya Shankar. And his vision has been of unifying the world, and that is what the Vedanta or what Advaitwad of Acharya Shankar stands for. So let me once again thank you for being what you are. And let us begin by the title Rajarshi. How Shankaracharya ji has conferred that on you, Modi ji.
So I think I have a long history of studying Vedas, and I've written book on Vedas. And my first book was published in 91. It was actually distributed in 93 in Washington in the World Hindu Council, World Hindu meeting which took place. Uh, I've been fascinated by the whole Veda teachings right from the beginning of my age, and I have been reading Mahabharata, Ramayana, Gita. But more than that, I've also seen what is so special about Vedas, which make it Sanatan. So as we said, that Vedas are Sanatan and it's forever, and what it applied long back is also applicable now. Now this was mystifying to me as a chemical engineer and as a businessman. So I've written many books on this, and I think on my 74th birthday, as I was going on 75th, I was getting ready for sannyas. At the age of 50, I've taken one prast, which was there, and at 25, I did the Grihastha ashram. So I followed the Vedas four ashrams, which has been quoted, and also the four prashads, which is Dharam, Arth, Kam, Moksha. And I think Shankaracharya has been, must have been following me or something. It was a surprise to me that one day he called and one of his disciple came to meet me about 1.5 months before my birthday. And they talked to me, they wanted to know my thing, and they said there's a need for a Rajarshi to be appointed. And Rajarshi has been there in the past, but in the last many years, it has not never nobody got that title. So in the Gita, in the fourth adhyaya, it is written that this gyan of Gita, which is a Gupta gyan, was given by Lord Krishna to Surya, and from Surya it went to Manu, and from Manu it went to Ishwanku, and after Ishwanku it went to the kings, and there was a thinking about kings becoming Rajarshi or at the age of 75, and but then it got lost, and because the kings were not there and it was not there, so they felt because I'm a billionaire and I'm involved in this, so they gave me this title. But after getting the title, I got even more interested into understanding. And as you know, I'm making a series on Adi Shankaracharya, which will be about 15 to 18 episodes. And we have taken the life of Shankaracharya right from his birth till he passed away. So it is a very interesting story of Shankaracharya. It's the need of the hour.
Yeah. So, with your permission, I backtrack a little bit. We come back to Acharya Shankar, and you mentioned about Acharya Shankar, of course, Vedanta, Advaitwad, and there are doubts in people's mind about practical application of this knowledge. And while you are pursuing your interest as an entrepreneur, you were also reading scripture. So how both of them kind of worked hand in hand for you?
Well, as I said, that right in the beginning, at the young age, I decided to follow the basic principles of Vedas, that is, to have four ashrams. So At the age of 50, when I was 99, I did my first yatra, Dharam Yatra in US. I went to 11 cities and started talking to people about Sanatan Dharma. And as I talked, I realized that people are not understanding what is Sanatana Dharma. Though Gita is the sort of summary of it, it described in a very only in the 18 adhyayas. But the key of Sanatana Dharma is believing that you are reborn again. You know, we have a cycle of birth and death, and that cycle is there. And once you understand that, then your whole attitude towards life changes. And also, it is a belief that the God, what we call God, is a source of life, source of all kind of life. In fact, in certain countries, instead of God, they call it source. And this is a new word being used by a lot of people,
Yeah.
whether it's a Christian God or whether it's this thing. So God is of source of life, and every person on earth who get born also dies. So there are certain rules which apply to our solar system. We don't know whether it applies to other solar system or not. And when we say that the universe, when it was made, there were many suns were there, and there are many systems are there. But I think what Shankaracharya did was he focused on our solar system. So when we say Om, or when we say Swastik, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, now these are gods which are being depicted as the people who created the whole universe. But if we go and divide what is done after the sun was created and what was done before the sun, then you divide them into two parts. And I think that's where the major differentiation is. Because once the sun is there, then we know that on Earth, all the type of life, or even in any planet or moon, is based on the sun. And sun is the source for all lives. So then, and it is also visible. It is not something which you can say that where is God, and you say. So I say the sun is the only visible deity which is there. And once you have that, then you realize that you can travel anywhere in the world. You can be anywhere. You could be beyond any religion, beyond any nationality, beyond any gender, because sun is everywhere. And that was my first thing. I created a body called Global Citizen Forum. And I said that we are all part of the planet. And even the Shankaracharya realized, and that's part of the story, you have read it,
Yeah.
that he was debated by Ubaya Bharti. And she said, what is the difference between man and woman? First, he had to debate with the biggest what I call Vedic scholar of that time, Mandal Mishra, and Mandal Mishra also debated with him. The debate was basically on the Karam Marg and the Gyan Marg. And Shankaracharya said that for getting the moksha, you require a Gyan Marg, and Karam Marg can not only get you there. Though Nishkam Karm helps you to get Gyan Marg, follow in your life. So I've been following that in my life of that thing. And then when Ubhaya Bharti came, she talked about what is the difference in man and woman. And she used Kam Shastra as the basis of debate.
Hmm.
And Shankaracharya, debated and then realized that man and woman are same. There's no difference. In fact, he was the one who created this Ardhanarishwar Puja. You know, so I think these are very practical things in life. That understanding that we are same in respect to our religion, nationality, and also gender, because the world has been gender biased, and we are coming to a stage now that people have accepted men and women as equal. Even today, there are sometimes the salary difference between the two, but it's going off. Many countries still there. So most of our religious book and most of our constitution do not do justice to the woman, which is there, and also to the young people. So Shankaracharya laid the rules, which is Sanatan. Sanatan means they are forever. They were there thousands of years back. They are even today, because we all know that the earth, the human beings are there, and they start defining themselves because they are born in certain part of the world.
Hmm.
So first, the one humanity is very important, and that's what I understood in my life. it helped me in my business because
Yeah.
I, I,
Yeah,
I,
let me interrupt you, and maybe there is some tip that we can hear from you, which might be useful for many of our viewers. And these days, the buzzword in the Western world as well as in India also is manifestation, and they say the law of attraction. And so when we look at our association or relationship with divinity, and as you have the experience of being a visionary techno entrepreneur also, you were in the sunrise sector and liberalization of Indian economy, and there is so much that is packed as far as the personality of refer to you as Dr. M or Rajarshi Modi ji is concerned. Now, how do you see different people manifest to different degree? Some people go beyond limitations, and most of the people are confronting certain limitations on various fronts. So, talk to me about your insight on how the knowledge accorded by Acharya Shankara is helpful in going beyond limitations on different levels.
so the first thing is that a lot of people get satisfied very fast. So how you define a success? Some people decide success because they got certain money and they say, no, I have money, I'm successful. Some people decide success because they think we have certain image and that is enough. So I think in Vedas, the success is decided on the basis of how you die at the time of your death, whether you are a happy person, whether you can relate to be able to reborn again in a different way. So that's one thing is not to get. I'm 75. I'm just getting started because this retirement is a very bad word, which is for retiring means you're trying to rest in peace. Now, in Shankaracharya or in Vedas, there is no peace. It's a continuous evolution. And the world which I get very much affected my life is synchronization. That means things happen in your life unexpectedly, and people come in your life unexpectedly. And because they come in your life, you get certain successes and certain happiness. So why these people come in your life at a particular time? It's not that I plan it. It's not that I can say that these people will come, but they just keep coming and going. And if I look at my success in whatever I have, is based on the people who came into my life, and most of them came into my life unexpectedly. But for that, I travel around the world. I keep meeting people, and they somehow fit into my life. And if I'm thinking of something, they say, "Oh, we are also thinking. Let's do it together."
So allow me to relate to you. I heard the screening of Acharya Shankar series, the first part at the Hindu Temple Auditorium, took place few days ago. I wasn't there, but someone who saw it, he said I should talk to Dr. Modi, and it's a beautiful presentation of Acharya Shankar, and it is necessary that you talk to him. And I had it in my mind. And yesterday I bumped into Anandji, and kind of so something synchronously
Exactly, exactly. This is
worked out.
what it is. This is what it is. What you have in mind, and you don't know how to go about, and it comes right on your door. And you're right that Anandji was there. He was there for something else because he went to meet Sri Ravi Shankar. I could not go because I was busy in other things. And he came back to me and he said, "There's Mr. Ashok Vyas. He wanted to talk to you." I
Yes.
said, "Why not? I had this time because I'm leaving. I have a dinner appointment,
Yeah,
but
and you are
the
going to.
timing became, and you are talking the subject very dear to me because I think it's very important. So what I did talk on that day was what the meaning of the sun, because I think today the youth or anybody say, where is God? Can you talk of God, but where is God? Who is God? So, but if we say that God is the source of everything, and for Earth, that sun, and you can watch the sun every day, then sun can be your motivator, and it has become my motivator. So I get up early in the morning, and the first thing I do is look at the sunrise, or even before that I get up, and it gives me ideas. People tell me that I come with a new idea every day. But where does these ideas come? They are coming from somewhere. and that may keep changing my life. So, as you must have seen, my life is continuously changing. Even today, I was talking to somebody and I said, look, I'm sitting in Scarsdale, the action is in Manhattan. And we had a board meeting and we said, we have a Fountain Life Center here. I'm the chairman of that. And the board said, Dr. Modi, why don't you build up a center in Manhattan? I said, I was thinking of doing that. He said, we are with you. So now suddenly I'm coming to Manhattan, which is there. So what happens is that the same thing in India. So uh, I was getting 75. I've always felt that I should not die here. I should die in India. That's for me the Dharam Bhumi, Moksha Bhumi, Karam Bhumi, my Matra Bhumi, my Pitra Bhumi. So I was always keen to go back to India. I've been out of India for 30 years. And suddenly I got a call from one of the chief minister, and he says, Dr. Modi, why don't you build a city here? We are building smart cities, and you come and build the city. And I said, okay, I was thinking of that, but now if you have called me, I'll come. So I'm going there to build a city, which is like my father built Modi Nagar.
Which
I'm
city?
building a city called Modipur, which will be little away from Delhi, but the roads are getting better, the trains are getting better. So what used to be 3 hours journey from that city to Delhi, now it's 1 to 1.5 hour. So I'm going back to India. That's again something which is because I can't go to India without getting invited. You know how the politicians are. So I said I must get invited to come to India,
So
and then
which?
I got this title of Rajarshi,
Yeah, very.
which is also something which is just came out of bloom. And as a Rajarshi, my job is to make people aware of Sanatan Dharam, and I believe that Bharat should be Sanatan Rashtra, and this is something became one of my agenda point at the time of election. That why don't we have our nation Bharat as a Sanatan Rashtra? And already there is a this fight going between Bharat and India, and it becomes, what will happen in future, I don't know, but it makes me believe that we are working toward the Vish Guru, or Bharat becoming a Vish Guru.
Let me get to the emotional and personal side of it. What will happen tomorrow, I don't know. But you made me happy and sad at the same time. So sad meaning traditionally we are conditioned when somebody says reference of death, we don't like we don't like it emotionally. It makes us feel. But then again, you come to the teachings of Acharya Shankar and you say that there is a continuity of life. The body goes, but that which remains. Still, that emotional bonding is.
No, but in that the main thing is how long you live. So normally, the business I'm in today in America is called Fountain Life, and this is a preventive health care. So we are promising people that you will live beyond 100, and 100 is new 60. That means at 100 you will be in a working condition as you are. You are not a retired man. So I think that's the business I'm in. So it has got me, and I believe I'll be living till 100 at least. So I've got a 25 years ahead of me. So I have taken many projects which I would not have taken otherwise. So it's also the lifespan of a human being, as every animal, every being is by sun, is for human being is 125 years. If he dies before 125, that is because of many reasons. It's not what the nature wants. So the nature gives you full life, and even that makes you to go to the next life. So I think to die as a happy person is the key to, I think, the life. Because how do you die as a happy person? And that comes from the goodwill you create around you, so that when you are dying, you know that you are satisfied with your life, or what you want to do. And I think that is very important too. And also knowledge is very important. Understanding what is afterlife.
Like some of our viewers who might be listening to you now, we are curious or rather interested in learning more about this fountain life. How 100 years? There are some supplements that you are offering or lifestyle. What it is?
No, what it is that it's a AI based system. So your body has a lot of fatal diseases, right? Because you die. So it can be starting from a brain, heart, lungs, cancer, all those things. So what Fountain Life we do is that we take your blood, but more than that, we do MRI, we do CT scans, we do X-rays, other things, and we do it on a yearly basis, and we do it with the AI. So we try to catch the disease in the first phase. So if you catch this disease in the first phase, you can cure it through nutraceuticals, not pharmaceutical, natural products. And also there is a cell therapy. So you have stem cell and you have exosomes. So these are used, the exosome is the brain in every cell. And these cells, when you put it inside you, they can cure your damaged cells. And stem cell is the first cell in your body, so it dies over time. So you are not left with more than 20% stem cell by the age of 70 or 65. So you have to add new cells into your body, stem cell, and they don't last long. So, but you have to put them every year or second year. So these are new techniques, and this allows people to remain healthy and energetic. So the main thing is energy level in you, and energy level depends upon whether your body is disease free. So we and everybody, when we say body is fit, it's actually not fit. It is fit because you compromise. But if you say I am medically fit, what the people in army, if you go, they check you out and they say you are not medically fit. So medically fit is different and fit is different. And I think we should be medically fit, which makes you, live a happy life. So I believe in that. It's not only living beyond 100, but beyond 100, happy, healthy, and wealthy.
So
So these
talking.
two things are important to live a life where you are not living the life as you want.
So, if I may request you to share the secret, what are the daily habits or practices which helps you remain fit and agile and creative with your mind, as well as have the kind of energy which fills you with enthusiasm to embrace a new day?
No, I think the main thing is happiness, because happiness and positive energy. So if you are uh, sad for anything, whatever reason, that takes a lot out of your body, and this is a general stress level comes in, and that comes mainly for attachment. So if you are attached to anything and it does not work accordingly, then it is so first thing is detachment, and it is said everywhere. You should be, it is easier said than done. But
I
in
know.
my life, I have practiced detachment. So I live alone from the age of 50. I told my wife that at the 50 that I will my grahast ashram is finished. So I have now start living alone, and I practice that, and I've been doing that now for 25 years.
She agreed to that. Was there any
No,
sort
no. She not only agreed, this was I told her at the wedding night only that
of?
it was a pre thing, and I said I'll take care of you, and you will get much more than when I'm there, because then you don't have to share with me. You will have a bigger house because you don't have to share with me. You have more money because you don't have to take care of my expenses, and you will have your friends with and time for your personal family, which you don't have when you are with me. So I think the wife is very happy because she is a free woman and she is getting whatever I could give her and more, which is there.
But
And
your presence, sorry, but I'm not being her advocate. But her your your presence is not there, which is also valuable. But you are keeping sort of
no,
working.
nowadays presence is through phone, no? So, who is present everywhere? And she is also, I think the presence is not what is required. What is required is freedom. That's the other thing which is important. A person should be free. And sometimes the marriage is a bondage. And especially, so my children are grown up. My daughter 51 and son 48, and my younger daughter is 40. So they all have their children. So my wife is having a second motherhood, which is like a grandmother, and you know that's grandmotherhood works quite well, but not grandfatherhood
I don't know
because
about that.
you have your own ambitions. I've not spent that much time with my children myself, so grandchildren are difficult for me to spend time with.
Uh, Very honest, I must say, and detached also, because without being detached, you cannot be that honest. So now moving to the other side, the perception that you have, and when you mentioned this, I was reminded of another Modi ji whom you know very well. uh, Prime Minister of Bharat, Narendra Modi ji, and he has also lived away from his wife.
So when I came to know of RSS, I met their top brass, including Rajju Bhaiya at that time, Sudarshan ji, and Shah, and many others, including Atal Bihari and Advani. So I wanted to understand who they are. So when I met them, they said, "Why don't you come to Nagpur for 2 3 days?" And I went there. So they said, "Dr. Modi, we just follow Mahabharata, Ramayana, Gita, whatever the Indian literature is. So have you read them yet?" I said, "Not only I read them, I practice them." So he
So,
said,
last question, because it just comes from what you just said. It will be controversial, and you said you like to be controversial, but then your vision is to unify the world. How these two things may coexist? Controversy means
"No, no,
contradiction.
controversy leads to unification. First, it's always happened. First, you ridicule each other. Then start accepting each other. Then you start looking at each other. Then you start admiring each other. And then you become friends. So it's always like that. It's not one go. So when we have one sun and we have one earth, so we can say that we have one father, which is sun, we have one mother, which is earth, and we are all children of our mother, father. So we are one family. So that's why I always write them, having one son and one father, a father and a mother as earth. So I'm keeping it very simple, no complication, because simplicity is the key for communication.
Wonderful. And I'm also reminded of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who says one world, one family, one future. And when you heard today about soft landing of Chandrayaan 3 on the moon, what was your response?
I wrote to Prime Minister, "You forgot one sun. You start from one earth." And the moon is important, but I think moon is a something of earth. I think it's a great thing for Bharat to be in that. I won't call it a race. It's a race for knowledge. So when you go to a moon, it's not about who goes first or second, but once you are there, you get a lot of knowledge, which you don't have if you're not there. So this is a trip which will open up a lot of what I call misunderstanding or lack of knowledge. Because once you are in another planet or another thing on the space, that gives you a different idea about the space. And we are entering into the space world. It is also written in Sanatan and in our Vedas that this evolution is taking place, and the last evolution is when we move to the space world, and that's happening now. So I think understanding space is most important for understanding the knowledge of this universe and knowledge of sun for that.
So wonderful. Great talking to Rajshri Modi ji.
Thank you.
Always pleasure. Source of inspiration and stimulating thinking. Lots of good wishes. May you continue to think big and execute with good health. Namaste.
Yes. Thank you very much. I know you, Ashok. You have been doing wonderful work. You are maturing from the young man to what I saw you today. So I think we'll work together in future. Thank you.